We are 1 hour away from puck drop of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, and Canes fans have been waiting a long time for this one. WRAL has crews around the arena and across the triangle as fans get ready for the first finals game in Raleigh in 20 years.
We're about an hour away from puck dropping here at Lenovo Center as the Canes get ready for the Stanley Cup Final.
We caught up with NHL analyst EJ Rodek to give his keys to the series and tell you why the Canes can win it.
And Canes fans are ready. We're just moments away from the start of the Stanley Cup Final, and excitement it is an all-time high.
The eyes of the hockey world are on Raleigh tonight. Where else would you rather be? Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. Appreciate you being with us here on WRAL at 7 o'clock. I am Ashley Rowe. Thousands of fans are pouring into Lenovo Center, and the party remains outside Lenovo Center. Let's send things over to Dan Haggerty. Dan, I know we played rock, paper, scissors. I won this time.
I'm stuck here in the studio. You're out there having a blast, but it's okay. I love it. Huge night for the Canes, for all the fans here in our area, our community on the national stage tonight. Whether or not you are a hockey fan, doesn't matter. This is a big deal, and it's why we are going all Canes on our coverage tonight. Join the conversation. Email 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. What do you think of this game? What are your predictions? What do you think about the whole series? What are you excited about most? Send us an email, and we're going to try and read through a few of them near the end of the show. First up, it is the Carolina Hurricanes Game 1 Stanley Cup Final. Sky 5 over the Lenovo Center tonight as fans tailgate outside. Puck drops in about an hour. We got WRAL's Monica Casey and Eric Miller. They're live tonight talking to some fans about the team's return to the final. We got Monica outside of the arena. Eric is in Moore Square. That's where the city is putting the game on the big screen for hundreds of people there in downtown. We're going to hear from both of them in just a moment. But that's not all. We also got Pat and Chris. They're giving us the reasons the Canes could win this whole thing and the one reason they might not. Ashley Rowe asks the Canes players where they were 20 years ago when the team last played in the final, plus an episode of Murph's Turf from inside the Lenovo Center. We are talking about hockey and Raleigh and how they have grown side by side. Back out to Ashley now. So, Ashley, the story will evolve, of course, as the series goes on. But tonight, it is purely about the excitement, the possibilities that our team, our community has a shot here at a championship.
You can really sense it. I've been speaking with so many fans who are here for every home game throughout the regular season, and now they've made it to Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. They're anxious, they're excited, but they're a little bit nervous. But you know, the team has been doing a great job of putting on quite a party. So over here is where the concert was underway. So the fans are now still at this stage, and that is where there's going to be a viewing party, a watch party for all the folks who couldn't get over inside the arena for the game. Let's get over to Monica Casey now, who has been chatting with fans all day long. Monica.
Yeah, Ashley, whether they are heading inside with tickets or watching the game from out here, these fans are ready for puck drop. And we are getting so close. We've seen people of all ages out here tailgating. We've spoken with quite a few young fans, some who are hockey players themselves, about what going to these games is like.
It's really loud and exciting. Everybody feels like family in there. I'm feeling great. I'm proud of the Canes are in the finals, and I hope they win.
Those families traveled from Charlotte and Rocky Mount to be here today, and they tell me they are ready for a Canes win. Ashley, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Monica. Now let's get over to Eric Miller, who is over at Moore Square, where there is another watch party happening in downtown Raleigh, and we have been affectionately all day calling it Brenda Moore Square, Eric.
Exactly, Ashley, and what a difference it makes the hour since we last spoke. Take a look at this right here. We have gone from dozens of fans literally to hundreds of people out here packing Moore Square. Everybody's so excited to watch this game. You take a look at some of this video, you get a sense of what has gone into making this event a reality. We have got food out here. We've got drinks. There's a DJ, a little bit of live music, all going into getting this environment nice and excited ahead of that puck drop here tonight. However, all of this is not easy. It came together really quick. Just take a listen to what some of the folks who organized this had to go through to make this happen.
And
And so really since Friday at 4 p.m., this was a green light. And so the last couple of days have been securing vendors, working with RPD, working with the city, getting a lot of that kind of stuff done.
And it did indeed get done just in time for these Canes fans. One fun fact, the city actually has its own screen that is supposed to go out here in Moore Square. It's in the shop right now. They had to scramble to find this one, a backup to make this night happen. Nonetheless, everybody's really excited for that 8 o'clock start here. Folks are still streaming in here to Moore Square. Ashley?
Oh, it's so much excitement and enthusiasm. Of course, these Canes, they want to win this for the community, for all of the fans. Can they pull it off? Pat Welter and Chris Lee spoke with an NHL analyst about what it's going to take for them to win the whole thing and what could catch them up. Let's chat with them. Guys?
All right, I'm Chris Lee, that's Pat Welter, and joining us right now is EJ Radick from the NHL Network. We're excited to have him so he help us break this down. So, EJ, with this game and with this series, of course, these two teams kind of evenly matched, but if the Carolina Hurricanes were to win this series, what's going to make them win it?
I think it'll be their pressure. That's the key for the Canes, is they pressure, they force you into mistakes. If they can keep the Vegas Golden Knights on their heels with that pressure, force defensive turnovers, create offensive zone time, which is what they do. If they can do that, they'll probably win the Stanley Cup.
And I'm going to be the bad guy, I guess, here. What's one reason the Canes might lose this series?
Well, I mean, the Vegas Golden Knights are a really experienced group, right? Most of these guys were part of that team that won in 2023. Things have been going really well for the Vegas Golden Knights of late. They made the coaching change. I think they needed a new voice there. John Tortorella has been that for them. Their goalie, Carter Hart, he missed a lot of this season. He's come back late in the year and been very good. And then the other thing is that William Karlsson, who missed 60 games this year, he's their second center, and he's one of these glue guys that makes everything else better. He's back in the lineup. He got back in for the second round series against Anaheim. So you put all those things together, the Vegas Golden Knights are a tough opponent.
EJ, the national narrative out there is that the Hurricane style is boring. Now, you're a national analyst. Maybe you're a part of that a little bit. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think with the Hurricane style? Is it boring?
I think it's anything but boring. I mean, they're attacking all the time. They're looking to create pressure all the time. It's probably boring for opponents who are fans of opposing teams that end up spending most of the night in their own zone hoping to get out of their end. So, they play a very up-tempo game. They're almost like a swarm.
Yeah.
It's really ideal if you can get 18 skaters to play that way and to play for one another. I think you're really very difficult to beat.
All right, so the last time the Canes played in the Stanley Cup Finals was 2006, 20 years ago. Do you remember what you were doing 20 years ago? Were you in Raleigh? Maybe were you at Lenovo Center for the games? I brought that question to a few of the players in the Canes locker room this morning. It's been 20 years since the team raised the cup. Where were you in 06? What were you doing in 06?
06, I would have been 10 years old. I wasn't doing much.
I was 3 years old, so I don't know. I know I was probably 2 actually, 2000.
You hadn't even picked up a hockey stick.
Probably not yet.
2006. So what? I was 9.
What would you say to the 9-year-old? Yeah, your 9-year-old self.
Yeah, just, I don't know, have fun, work hard, and enjoy the ride.
I came in and watched Derek. I think I watched 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the finals, and what an atmosphere, what an experience as a young kid, and then obviously you see your brother out there, and it's an amazing feeling, him dominating out there, and always in the back of my mind, I want to do that.
Dreaming about playing maybe one day.
Yeah, just kind of trying to figure out if I was even good enough to make the rep team. Seems like forever ago for me. I'm sure it seems even like forever ago for all the fans here. So it could be something pretty special.
Pretty special indeed, to the opportunity to make so many memories here at Lenovo Center. And I was just reminded that this arena has gone through a couple of name changes. So now Lenovo Center, it's got all the opportunities. Dan, 20 years ago, admittedly, I was graduating high school in 06.
I have you by a few years, Ashley. 20 years went by a lot faster for me than it did some of the players you were talking to who were just 3 years old 20 years ago. But I was here, living in Raleigh, watching the Canes win the Stanley Cup. So, thank you to Ashley. We're going to continue to check back in. Stay with us throughout the entire evening. We are out there at the Lenovo Center holding it down. Thanks again to Ashley. And we do want to know from some of you at home, where were you 20 years ago? What were you doing? Were you sitting around? Were you watching the Canes? Were you 3 years old, maybe? When they won the Cup, what stories do you have? Maybe you were a kid at the time. Send us your pictures and your stories. Maybe send us both. Send us one from 20 years ago. Send us one from tonight. And we'll take a look at the difference there. 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. Of course, the Carolina Hurricanes and our community have also changed so much in those 20 years. After the break, we head to Murph's Turf to talk about how Raleigh has grown into a major hockey market. We also have your big headlines for the day. Remember that track athlete who was disqualified last month? The unsportsmanlike ruling that lost his team the championship was overturned. We're going to explain. And could school lunch get more expensive in Wake County? Well, the district is thinking about it. Plus, we get an update on the water supply at Falls Lake, and it's not looking too good. Kat.
The gates are open. Everybody's coming into Lenovo Center. Look at these outfits. Woo! You guys are styling. Can we get a Let's Go Canes?
Let's go Canes!
We'll have a closer look at the forecast for this game and the next coming up.
Let's roll through today's big headlines. These are the 5 things you should know right now. Police in Dunn have arrested the man they say killed his 9-week-old daughter. Video here from the scene last night in Dunn. First responders found the little girl, brought her to the hospital where she later died. Terrion Bird is now charged with murder. State officials overturned the decision that disqualified a high school track athlete. You remember this story from last month? It was a big talker. The athlete from Mallard Creek High School lifted his arm as he crossed the finish line. The refs disqualified him, said that was taunting or celebrating or something. It cost the team the championship. Tonight, that decision was overturned. The state determined that Nyan Brown did not engage in unsportsmanlike or unacceptable conduct. Mallard Creek is now considered the co-champion along with Jordan High School. Wake County Schools is considering a price hike for school lunches. They'd go up 25 cents per meal, so that's about $90 increase per year for a family with 2 kids. The district is trying to increase for a few reasons, they say, including an increase in the cost of food in general and for cafeteria worker wages. State lawmakers are considering a ban on social media for kids under 14 years old. It could mean bans for some older teenagers, too. They're also focusing more on apps that include what they call addictive features. The water supply at Falls Lake is down to 72%. That is a big drop from last week. You remember, if we get to 60%, those phase 2 water restrictions go into effect. Those would mostly impact watering for your lawn or garden. All right, let's get back. Game 1, Stanley Cup final. Because this has been a long time coming for the Canes. And I don't just mean the last few years. I'm talking about the last 20 years. You see, Raleigh has grown into the status it has now as a hockey town. But it took some time. And a lot more growth is on the way, as you know. For that part of the story, we brought Murph's Turf to the ice.
Wow, it is nice and quiet in here. It's going to be a whole lot different once the fans start packing in. So we've got the towel, the Game 1 towel. You know that the Caniacs are going to be going crazy with this thing. Murph, we got to talk about just the history of this team. I mean, we think about how much of a hockey town this city has become.
Yeah, I mean, certainly we've seen it in the demand for tickets to get into this Game 1 and the other games that are going to be here at Lenovo Center. But for the 20 years since they've been in the Stanley Cup final, you know, the first half of that wasn't very good for the Carolina Hurricanes. They missed the playoffs 11 out of 12 seasons. They were giving tickets away. And it was really in 2018 when Tom Dundon bought the team and hired Rod Brindamore to be the head coach that everything changed. And they've made the playoffs the last 8 years. We were making the playoffs, but we can't get to the Stanley Cup final. Now they've erased that hurdle and they're here in the Stanley Cup final.
And the NHL commissioner has taken notice of this hockey market as well.
Yeah, Gary Bettman has been a big proponent of these southern markets, and Raleigh included.
This team is more part of the community than it's ever been. Tom may not always be, because we're hearing this out of a different market, the most conventional owner, but nobody can argue with his commitment to the sport, to the community, and to making this team successful for the benefit of the community and the fans.
North Carolina has hosted an all-star game. They've hosted an outdoor game. He's been a proponent of this market when many others weren't. I mean, there was always talk that the Hurricanes were going to relocate. They might move to Quebec. They might move to these other cities, but they didn't, and in part because of the commissioner, and they've finally found an owner that was willing to invest in the team and the product on the ice, and the results kind of speak for themselves.
Not just investing on the product on the ice, but also what's going on around Lenovo Center. We keep hearing about this sports and entertainment complex that is going to be one day here in Raleigh.
Yeah, I mean, first you can start in the arena. $300 million arena renovation project's underway, and then soon thereafter, this $1 billion development is supposed to take place around the stadium. We haven't seen shovels in the ground yet, but Tom Dundon, the owner of the Hurricanes, has said that he expects an announcement in the coming weeks, and that may be an anchor tenant for this development that really gets it kick-started.
I guess one question that I do have for you is perhaps a concern that people have. They've seen the ticket prices steadily increasing. We've seen it in other markets and other franchises across the country. When there are big developments, well, the prices go up too.
Yeah, and part of it is that's what is driving sports right now, real estate. We've heard about the Atlanta Battery all the time. It helps the team generate revenue from outside of the arena. Maybe that can help keep prices down. But look, over 1 million people live in Wake County. This place only seats 18,000. There's going to be a supply and demand issue if the team is really good and if the team is in the Stanley Cup. I think in some ways that's a sign of the maturization of this market for hockey.
Murph, thank you.
And we have our Canes game day Stanley Cup forecast from Kat Campbell, who is now inside Lenovo Center. Kat, what's the update?
Well, I had to move in with the fans. A lot of people are coming in now. That's where all of the excitement is as we prepare for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. So I want to show you something. Of course, you heard about the beer skate, the famous beer skate that was selling for so much money on eBay. This is what they are selling this game. So they have the stick here, and it fills up with your drink of choice. They offer different drinks of choice. I did see a little kid buy one earlier, so it's nice that they're including the kids in that as well. But we're so ready for the game tonight, and we're forecasting a big win for the Canes. Let's take a look at the forecast. When the puck drops, temperatures are going to be hovering right around the 70-degree mark, and we never know how long these games are going to go. The Canes have been a big overtime team lately, but by midnight, we already dipped down into the upper 50s, so it does cool off. It's been breezy out at the tailgates, which made it feel so good. Winds around 10 miles per hour. Still, we're seeing winds gusting to 23 miles per hour in Raleigh. And the wind is one factor of why today was so amazing. The other factor is this. The dew point is only 40 degrees, which is absolutely incredible for June. That puts us all the way at the bottom of the muggy meter in summer. And that's also going to allow for temperatures to fall a bit more tonight. So we're talking about near record lows. 49 is our forecast low in Raleigh tonight, and that would tie the record low at RDU. 44 in Roxborough, upper 40s even for Fayetteville potentially. But we are going to warm up from here. So today has been so nice. Hopefully you've been able to enjoy it. I know that the folks out here at the tailgate did. By tomorrow, we're back in the low 80s. Thursday's game is going to be hotter. It's still not humid, but the breeze is not going to quite be there. All right, you can hear the Canes fans. They are so ready to go. Just a heads up, though, it is going to warm up over the course of the weekend, so maybe some air-conditioned indoor watch parties for the weekend games. Back out here live at Lenovo Center. You heard all of the hooting and hollering. Come on in, come on in.
I love you, Kat.
Thank
You're
you.
my favorite weather lady.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can you give me your forecast for the game tonight? What do you think the final score is going to be?
It's going to be sunny weather. We're going to win, win, win.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, girly.
Thank you. All right. Sounds like we got a big hurricane warning tonight. Folks are so ready for the game, and we're excited to see the outcome. Fingers crossed. There's so much excitement in here tonight, and I'm excited to now get to go and watch the game, Dan.
Everybody loves Kat Campbell. I'm surprised more people aren't running up to say hello during your forecast. Great work. I like the forecast. Thank you to Kat. Lots of emails coming into the 7 p.m. inbox about Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final in Raleigh. We have some of your predictions, a few stories, and some feedback in tonight's One Last Thing. All right, before we say goodbye, we have one last thing for you. We want to roll through some of the feedback you sent in tonight. We can only get to a few of them. I want to start with Ken. He wants to know, what is the betting line for tonight's game? It's weird to me that we report on betting, but that's what people do now. Right now, Vegas is the underdog. Carolina is the favorite with the puck line spread at 1.5. Troy wrote in, love this one. 20 years ago, I went to Game 5 without a ticket, bought one just before the game for $100. That has changed, hasn't it? Some of these tickets are going for thousands, though 20 years ago, I can still remember not being able to afford $100. Ann wrote, my dad taught me and my brother to love hockey. I am fortunate to have been able to purchase tickets to Game 2. I'm going with my daughter, but for my dad, who never got a Stanley Cup final game. First of all, that's amazing that you get to go to Game 2. I'm still focused on Game 1. I can't even think that far ahead. But it's also kind of telling the whole story about what this is about. This is about community. This is about family. I know there are a lot of hockey fans who are wanting to see the Canes win a cup. But it's bigger than that. That's why sports brings people together. It's about the entire city. So if you can't afford a ticket, they're a lot more than $100 now. Go to a watch party. Go to a friend's house. Sit around the TV in your living room. We're all doing it together. It's what makes it so special. Keep sending in those emails, 7 p.m. at WRAL.com. I'm going to be here live at 10 and 11 tonight. Hopefully we're celebrating. We'll see you then.